Alright, looks like we are recording. I see the file at least. So, yeah, let's continue in Darksiders Deathinitive Edition. Which, yeah, I did drop down the difficulty because it was really just not being fun at Deathinitive. And even then, Apocalyptic might not be much fun. Now, if I remember correctly, I left off overlooking... Yep. Overlooking this. And it's like, oh yeah, there's a fight down there. So, yeah. Let's, hey, let me... Good on that stuff. There might be stuff here again that I can destroy and collect from. So I do have some news topics. Not necessarily a whole lot, but some are significant. Oh, wait, is there... Ah, no. Let me just quickly go through them. Devolver and Crow Team. That thing, the next at Acer, can talk about that some. Though I'll be honest, even though that was just Wednesday, so 2 days ago, because I do this on Fridays, that feels like it could have been last week. It's been that kind of week. The Intel and SK Hynix thing. Google antitrust stuff, which I haven't written up anything on. It's mainly because I don't think I could write a full piece on it. Or because I don't know all the ins and outs, and I'm not sure if I could, like, just find the actual, legal documents there and understand it. And then also there's a bunch of, like 6,000 leaks that are potentially interesting, depending on their level of accuracy. That's the new AMD GPUs, which we will fortunately get to... No. There we go, that's... but we will be finding out more about that come, Can I do this and... Nope. We'll be finding out more about that on Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Whatever the 28th is. Yes, that's Wednesday. So we'll find out just how accurate some of those rumors are, well, some of those supposed leaks are or are not. Yep. Ow. Well, thank you. That was actually very helpful. I don't remember which key that is. There we go. And the camera is killing me again, because it's like, I'm trying to dodge left, dodge left, dodge left. For whatever reason, he's dodging into the enemy. What the hell was that? Oh my god, you know what? I'm already just... No, I'm not having this. Yes, you're going to normal. Because I'm not putting up with this shit. Because this is such shit. It's like, hey, I want you to dodge through this. And entirely aims at something else. With no reason or explanation. Because there isn't one. That's just... I know I want to be, but it's like the balance on this. And just so many things are just such shit. Largely, it's the camera. But it's like, I don't even think I've hurt this thing yet. And so much of that is just because it's like, oh, I'm going to attack something else randomly that's not even necessarily on the screen at the same time. For the hell of it. skills were coming out. Come on, you two. Come on. See, that time I actually did want that to happen. Okay, that was weird because he seemed to be at 0 health for a while there. Alright. Nope, not going there. Going over here. Okay. So basically just going in order here. The Devolver and Pro Team thing is Devolver Digital and Pro Team are... I think merging might be the most appropriate word, at least based on how the Devolver Digital press release on it goes, because that's just, I mean, it's Devolver Digital. They always have to be a little weird. Because they even put it in there. Are we acquiring them? Are they acquiring us? It doesn't really matter. We're together now. And, I mean, it honestly makes sense. Those two have been working together for apparently a decade. Devolver Digital has been publishing Pro Team games for a decade now. So it makes sense that they would decide to do that. Kind of what I figured. It's not better. Is it just here then? Yeah, I guess it is. Just here. Yeah, with the health steal, because that will be nice, because that's gonna be, well, health per hit of 21, health steal of 7%. Actually, this will be more. This would be a lot more health, actually. But the rate steal would be helpful as well. Okay, already been through there, so that's that I have left. But yeah, and they did also mention in it that we will be seeing, crap, now I forgot the name of it. Talos Principle. Talos Principle 2, that's it. That's what we will be seeing. Which I still need to play that game. I do have it, but I haven't played it yet. I mean, There. Alright, okay. That's just the way back because you don't use the portals for that. You can't get to the second spot. The next at Acer event, man, they showed off a lot of stuff. And the one thing that, it happens, but it can be a little annoying when the written press releases have more in them than what was shown. And there's also some stuff missing. Like, one thing that was shown was the, oh crap, what do they call them? The fans. Oh, that's not what I want. But the fans that they use in their Predator desktops. Those they mentioned will be for sale. 120mm fans, which I believe they said have high static pressure to them. Which I know that's useful for some situations, I just don't remember all the situations. Obviously they will train them favorably at their own press conference. Yeah. Could just one of you die? I don't really care which one. But just one of you? Thank you. There. And they are RGB fans as well, for those that want that. I mean, I will just say that for a, why would I want to get over? Especially since I'm not really seeing how it back. Huh. Now I'm gonna leave that then. Oh wait, I really don't know how I'd get back. Okay. I just wanted to see what that was. And I'll just say that with the RGB stuff, for the computer, I can see how, yeah, I don't really understand that. But man, I do like having it on the keyboards. I mean, like with the NK65 currently, I have it set up with the alpha and mods. So alphas are currently red, and the mods are the. It's really a cyan. I'm getting to drink water about it. Ah, that's better. There. And also on the 1UP keyboards build, it doesn't have backlighting for the keys, but it does have the underglow, and it is nice there. I like the having the RGB LEDs there for lighting layers. Ah,
I will take your head.
You're gonna try. Yeah, they showed off bunches of other things like the Porsche Designs partnership laptop and mouse and travel bag, which does look nice. It does look nice. And if I were ever like actually in need of a laptop, I may consider that. There's a lot of laptops I've considered, but no, it's aging. My Lenovo Yoga 2 Pro. Is that what's going on? It's still going pretty good, so no need to change that out. And the fact that I now can have a dedicated actual keyboard for it instead of, you know, separate keyboard, I should say, discrete keyboard, is also very nice. It's Not that the keyboard on it isn't nice to type on, but it's just it can be nice to have some separation from the screen. Alright. There we go. Alright, and now with that, there. Yeah, that figures. Man, isn't it nice to not be constantly dying to the trash mobs? I'm just trying to think what else did they show off. Various new Chromebooks, including, I think it was a Chromebook that had the 5G connection. I didn't see that mentioned in the press release, but there was one. They did talk. Ah, man, I don't remember which one though. The new design to the cooling fans for one of their laptops. I just don't remember which one it is now. But they've been innovating on that, so now the fan is 0.8 millimeters thick. Is that it? They've been making it thinner and thinner without. In fact, I think they even tried to say. I don't. Okay, I'm trying to remember if they did say whether or not it actually is still better performance or not. Better film performance or not than what we Okay, I think I kind of remember what's going to be going on here. Or at least can kind of recognize it. But the better performance than what we saw before. I don't think I had room for 3. I don't want to go in there, by the way, because it looks like that's going to be a trap. There. So yeah, that closes back up. That. Oh wait, I can't. Okay. Now I was thinking that it might be a Oh, okay, I know where I am now. I was thinking that it might be a soul splitter thing, but you can do this before you have that. Hence why it's actually not even an option. Alright, in which case then I just have to go through here. And I heard it. Come on, where are you guys? Ah, it's one of these things. Actually, it's more than that, but these things have been annoying me since the beginning. The different variants. Alright. I hate this camera. It really is just shit. There we go. There's that, there's that. Yeah, there's nothing down there. Missed. There we go. Okay, so that's a way there. Huh. Why? Oh, wait. Yes, I see, Okay. But is there anything over here? I know exactly how to do the thing over there, I just... Okay, so this is all sealed off. Okay. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else I specifically want to mention from the thing? Some good-looking monitors that they announced. And at some point I do want to... I've talked about that before, I do want to look into getting a new monitor. But first I'll, get... Damn it. I'll get a new... And say I want to upgrade the GPU first, I think that's, not unreasonable. It's like I don't have as strong a need for a new and fancy-dancy monitor, but do have a good need for a new fancy-dancy GPU. And hopefully it won't be long before we learn more about that. Nah, I won't skip ahead to it. I'll keep going in order. Yeah, so the Intel and SK Hynix news is very, not something I was expecting this week. So Intel, they make CPUs, we know that. They make networking stuff. Maybe we know that a little bit less. But they also do flash drives, SSDs. I should have said that, solid-state drives. They are based on flash, but that is the thing that they've been doing for quite a while. They actually make some very good ones. And I'm not talking about Optane, I'm talking about actual NAND flash. So one of the things that my desktop that I'm using right now has that is kind of special, you don't see it on many systems, is a U.2 port. What the hell is U.2? U.2 is, it's about twice the height. It's not as wide, but about twice the height as a SATA port, but it's like an M.2 slot, in that it's meant for an NVMe connection. So I could get a 2.5-inch or... Actually, I don't remember if they make 3.5-inch solid-state drives that connect by U.2. And Intel is one of the companies that makes them. So if I ever wanted to use that port, I could get something like that. And they're fast drives because they are NVMe. But it'll be, larger and larger capacity. I don't remember how they stack up, though, in terms of, price per gigabyte. It might not be that good, in part because it's just not a common form factor, at least outside of enterprise solutions. You do see them more so used in server. I want to say U.2 is used more so in servers and in workstations, so it makes sense that, a Threadripper motherboard would have it. But it still is not common at all. But yeah, that was definitely news that it's like, what? Not at all something I would expect, and I think anyone else would expect. I mean, it's a potentially a very good move for Intel. It'll bring in some money that they might need. I mean, it doesn't help that the 10nm stuff has been delayed so long. And they're keeping the Optane stuff. So it's not like they're getting out of solid-state storage. It could just be as simple as, you know what, we've decided Flash is not where we want to continue developing such. They do, and they have worked with SK Hynix for other things. Like the development of DDR5. They were involved in that. Trying to remember, because this does get a little complicated, I want to say. I think this is right. I might have this backwards. Yep, have it backwards. Okay. There we go. I don't remember to what end, but I'm pretty sure it is required to bring. Okay. Now, the deal is kind of weird because it's a multi-year thing where they will initially, assuming it gets to the regulatory stuff, SK Hynix is going to get so much stuff, and then in 2025, I think it is, they get the rest. Where it's like, for a time, the Dalian facility in China that Intel is using to make their flash chips, for a time that will be I'm just thinking, how do I but for a time that's going to be owned by SK Hynix but still used by Intel to produce their flash memory, which does seem a little weird, but that's the deal that they're going with, so good for them. It's going to be, what was it, $7 billion for that first part of the deal, and then another $2 billion for a total of $9 in 2025 when everything closes. Okay, this is here, so that's... There. Put it there. That's still probably not close enough. There. No need to charge it up, but sometimes I just do that instinctively. Alright, in which case then I have scooped this up a little bit. It's not anything I can't recover though. There. No. This. There. There. Awesome. Oh, wait, hang on, I might be able to do this. Okay, I can. That's a lot easier, isn't it? Alright, so there. And actually, no, I'm not going to be able to do this, am I? Yeah, it won't fit through here. Nope. Okay. I'm just gonna get it back in. There. What was the next thing? Oh yeah, the Google antitrust stuff. So, from what I'd seen, and it's been one of those weeks I haven't been able to look too deeply at it. Basically, the U.S. Department of Justice is alleging that Google has been abusing its place in the advertising and search market, so that basically it's a self-feeding cycle that continuously feeds it more and more money. But part of it, and this is where it becomes more the antitrust stuff, and this claiming a monopolistic practice, is because they are using the money that they get from the ads, which they make in part because of the search engine being used on so much, to then pay companies to use Google. To make that the default search engine on various phones and such. So it basically becomes self-reinforcing, but also anti-competitive, in that there are other search engines out there that can't get a foothold because Google's just paying people to use what it offers. And it is... Okay, how do I get... And it's, just... It makes money from selling ads. The ads get seen because of the search engine. So then they get the money to get more companies to put search engine on there, and it's a cycle. And they're saying that it is anti-competitive. And one thing that, well, yeah, a lot of people are saying that no, this isn't accurate, this isn't true. One thing you have to kind of grant, though, is that the DOJ said we've been building this for years. They wouldn't be working on something for years if there was nothing there. So basically, it will become interesting when we get to the courts. Come on. Or do I get to try to... Oh, wow. Actually going to get all the way through. And one thing that I found a little funny was Mozilla, the corporation behind Firefox, was complaining that this could hurt them and other companies because of the money that they get thanks to the deal that they have with Google for having Google be the default search engine for Firefox. And I just found this hilarious to see. So, because they're basically saying that no, we don't want you to get rid of the deal you're saying is anti-competitive because it's helping us. It's like, that's not really the stance I would want to take if I were a company. When, some partner has been accused of monopolistic practices, they said, well, no, we're benefiting from the exact thing you're saying is monopolistic. That's not really going to help anyone deal. Nothing else, it gave me a good laugh, so I guess it helped in that way. But that's not what the goal was, I'm sure. But I do think it is important to note that at the heart of it is the complaint about the ad revenue, about basically the search engine feeding ad revenues so that then the ad revenue feeds the search engine. And ad revenue is important for a lot of companies, so this is kind of a big deal. Well, it isn't a kind of a big deal, it is exactly a big deal. You're not going to see a bigger legal deal in the tech industry for a while. I mean, it would take something like actual efforts to change the 320, whatever it is that's given Facebook, Twitter, Google, the exemption from publisher status stuff. Like that, if that actually starts being challenged, that would be a big deal. And in case anyone is wondering what that is, that's the whole... Okay, so it's from the 90s, from when the internet was first starting. I think that does help. So it was basically no one knew what the full implications were, but also it was an exemption that was made specifically to help internet companies. And the idea was, when you are a publisher of content, so like a book publisher, you are responsible for the content you publish. So if somebody were to publish a book that were expressly violent or describing things that are illegal activities in there in such detail, and like, you know, a classic example would be a book describing how to assassinate the president. That would be something where it's like, you can't really publish a book on that. And so then, not only could the author potentially be held liable for that, but so could the publisher. That is the actual law. That because you're the publisher here, you're responsible for this. You have you have the power to edit and to not publish this. So there is a liability there. The base internet companies have an exemption to that, where they are not necessarily held responsible, which makes some sense, because, you know, if somebody on Facebook were to share such plans, it's the idea that Facebook is not going to be held responsible for the postings of the user. The problem, though, is that, and it's a bipartisan agreement that this needs reform. It's just what kind of reform. The problem is, you now have the companies, though, that do partake in some forms of censorship. And it's like, okay, so you're making acts that are like a publisher, but at the same time, you're saying you're not a publisher. So, you know, there aren't other requirements on you, and it's just that's the problem. So it's like, if that were to actually become a thing, well, actually, yeah, let's see. I hit I to open up the inventory, but I'm a fool. That's not how this game works. Alright, yeah, let's get to upgrading. Okay, that's right, it already has that. So if I were to use this, I could actually get, well, I'll find credits. Sure, let's get rid of that. Hang on. That up.
Possible.
Yeah, that would be a bigger deal, I think, than the Google antitrust stuff. Yeah. Set that. And I kind of screwed up. I did it the wrong time. Should have done that last sacrifice later. No. Let's do that. What else? I'm mainly looking at the stats. If it's white as opposed to gray, I want to say that means it can be applied, but it's also possible that I'm past that it can't take more. Because there's a limit to how many things you can apply to it. Yeah, it's looking like that. Because defense would be such a thing. Alright. I really am confused by this stuff. Especially since you think that would not be something in this version. Alright, yeah, Alright, there, and it's just one level left. Alright. It only matches undamaged, but is shock instead. Losing the piercing damage might be problematic. We'll just have to see. Now I'm just thinking, so the last bit I have on the news here would be, there's a lot of leaks that have been coming out recently for, well, supposedly leaks, rumors, nonetheless, concerning the performance of the, I'm going to be facing the big guy now, of the RX 6000 series from AMD, so the new GPUs that we'll get the details on later this week. And basically what, well, let him finish.
Of the living.
I see an enemy before me, ready for his end.
You have the soul of a great will.
Why do you serve the Lost King?
I serve those who summon me, my essence incarnated by their will.
I mean to destroy you.
You may destroy this form, but you cannot destroy me. Mine is not a soul to be fed to the well, for within me beats the pure power of the abyss. None can escape it.
None are beyond death.
Then come, prove your claim.
Basically, the leaks, the rumors would be putting, the rumors are saying the RX 6800 XT, so not actually the biggest of them, the most powerful of the GPUs, because in theory there is a 6900 XT. Come on. And the reason that GPU is suspected, by the way, is because the Navi 21 XTX GPU that has appeared in some documentation. Ah, come on! Because that would be above the just XT, which is expecting the 6800. But would be putting it on par or ahead of the RTX 3080. The rumors are also saying that it will have clock speeds above 2 gigahertz, which will be interesting if true. At least boosting, it'll reach that high. Notice, have I like picked something up or whatever that I'm not charging anything for the Chaos form? anyway, getting back to the GPU rumors, it's definitely intriguing. I can't open Street just because I intend to purchase one. But I mean that will depend on price. But yeah, it's definitely things could get interesting in the top end. But yeah, there were leaks for 3D Mark scores that put the that put it above the 3080 in Firestrike Ultra, which is the 4K version of that benchmark, and but a little bit behind the 3080, only about on par or ahead of the 2080 Ti for the Port Royale ray tracing, which I do find interesting, but it also might not mean anything. Because as some people point out, so, okay, here's my understanding for how the DXR ray tracing system will work, is that it doesn't matter if it's AMD or NVIDIA or Intel. DXR is completely agnostic when it comes to the ability to do ray tracing. It's just like with NVIDIA RTX, when it sees the DXR calls, it just sends it to the RT cores. So it's RTX is separate from DXR. It's an acceleration of DXR. So AMD, with its ray tracing solution, would likely function in a similar way. It sees the call for DXR, and so it sends it to its ray tracing acceleration. Now the thing is that with the S-continuous benchmark is potentially there are optimizations that you can do for one version for RTX or whatever AMD solution is or is called. Like that is completely possible. So seeing a difference in score there doesn't have to mean too much, but it still is, depending on the price, being able to get the 2080 Ti level of ray tracing performance could be quite good. And there's also the reality that because it will likely function very differently than the RT cores do on the RTX GPUs, that it's not directly comparable. That, you know, it's that there could be some things it does better at, some things it does worse at. And also there might just be new uses that one is better than the other.
So you return. I suppose you want a share of the treasure.
Fear not, Rider. Ostagoth has his reward. Browse to your heart's content.
I think it just fill up on these. Okay. I don't think there's anything I want. Okay. Here? Well, hang on. Let's save here. So it is less damage, but it has the, well, okay, the ice damage would technically push it up above, but then there's also the shock damage, so it's, some Wraith steal, some Wraith kill, but yeah, I think what I currently have is fine. That is what I have put. Yeah, I don't think there's anything here that would explain seemingly not gaining the
Salutation!
The Wrath or Chaos, whatever it is. So there, I'm done in this because this was the DLC campaign. So I need to do this to get out and go either back to the main game or to the other one. I think I'll go to the other one, but I'll just put, well, but I'll just like put myself there. Just trying to think if there's anything else concerning that. Okay, good. We're just here. That's all I want. So I can be stopping. has been interesting seeing the rumors, people wanting there to be some kind of DLSS competitor there, and it's like I'm sorry, I'm not sold on DLSS yet, because it's like it's supposed to be, you know, like just free performance, and the visuals look as good or even better because it's applying anti-aliasing methods of one kind or another internally. But it's like I see lighting be different in a game like MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, and also in some screenshots I've seen for Death Stranding, I can spot it there as well. It's like, okay, there are actual visual effects that are different now. I'm not happy about that. Yeah, I mean, personally, I kind of like the idea of VOS more, which I'm glad that the Series Sam 4 performance analysis is finally out, so that you can see the impact that had with the RTX 2060, including the visuals, where, yes, you do see, for something, like where I was, we saw it for quite a distance, so you definitely can see in that the impact to image quality. But it's also, I feel, it's like, well, VOS doesn't claim to not compromise, to not reduce image quality. It's just saying that it's reducing it enough, reducing it in just certain areas so that you can have greater performance. And I had the RTX 2060 running with super sampling at 4x, thanks to the VOS being enabled. And it was running pretty well. And RTX 2060 was running at SSAA 4x, and it was better than 60 FPS for where I was collecting the data. That's insane. And VOS it's just a part of DirectX 12 now. I saw the other day, Phoronix was sharing that Vulkan 1, I have the thing open here since I'm out of the game. Vulkan 1.2.158 has 2 new extensions to it, and one of them is the VK KHR, so Chronos, as in Chronos made it, fragment shading rate. That would allow the shading rate for fragments to be changed. The fragments would be, I saw it as 2 things when I was doing my research for the anti-aliasing stuff. Either a single collection of samples for an object when, you know, the sampling rate from rasterization strikes an object. When it hits an object, it samples it and collects all the information in the fragment, so it tells it what the color is, the normal is, position, all that stuff. So yeah, changing the shading rate there, I mean, it's like we're talking about, you know, variable rate shading to a degree in Vulkan as well. This is something that's just going to be part of the APIs. DLSS is limited to NVIDIA, it's limited to specific titles, and only specific hardware. Yeah, I feel FreeOS has a better future. So we'll see what happens with that. And there's also the whole DirectML, or AMD just doing its own thing for a competitor to DLSS. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully they do something. I would love to see them come up with a direct competitor to all of NVIDIA's features. But I'm not a, hey, I need it kind of person on that. I'm not going to say that, oh, you shouldn't get this or that because of that feature. Because it's like, there's not enough things that use it. I'd much rather have a GPU that is just very powerful than one that's not as powerful but has a whole bunch of fun features that are restricted to certain things. Yeah, because I realized I had to correct that, because I do admit to really liking the AMD drivers, but also the Radeon Chill. I like that so much. Being able to just, you know, give upper and lower bounds and keep the frame rate in there, and then, you know, just don't worry about it after that. I really like that feature. I like that. That's probably it. I don't think I have anything more to talk about. There might be. I'm just thinking about the stuff that I wrote up earlier. Post-launch plans for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. By the way, I have no idea if I'm going to be getting that. I want a copy of Assassin's Creed Valhalla because I've played every other Assassin's Creed game, major one at least, that's come out on the desktop on PC. But November is potentially going to be a crazy month, because let me see, we got Watch Dogs Legion coming out next week. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is coming out also sometime in November. There's Cyberpunk 2077 coming out. There's Dirt 5 coming out. What else is coming out? I think that there's still 1 or 2 other things coming out. Yeah. maybe the luck is going to be kind of weird, because in a way, it's not exactly bad luck if I don't get some review keys. Because that just means I have time to work on other things. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But it was kind of neat to see those post-launch plans. Some of them do sound interesting. Yeah, nothing else is coming to mind, so I guess I can just leave this for next week. Which, I don't think it's a problem if I mention. I am thinking I will change the switches. I think it's been long enough. Before the next one. Sometime next week I'll probably change it out. So, coming off of the cream switches, and I'll keep cream switches in the NK65 here. And I think I'll actually just go to the other keyboard, so I'll be using the Boba U4 silent tactile switches. And also be on the different keycaps as well, and different keyboard, obviously. Yeah, that should be fun. So at some point I'll probably get that right up going. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll be more or less similar to the Silk Yellows, which I did also like those, but the creams are definitely different. It is clear they are different. Anyway, I've been talking enough, don't you think? I think everybody believes that, yeah. See you next time.